So you have made the decision now to sell your home, right? So should you do it with an agent or try and sell it on your own? Big question there. The pros and the cons in today's Ones for Real Estate. Truth is, you could save a lot of money selling your own home in this market, but only if you know what you're doing. Tammy Redmond recently took that challenge on, selling her house in Fort Worth.
Just kind of thought about it and looked at the numbers and decided I could do it.
For her, like many owners who sell their own home, it's about hanging on to as much money as possible.
I just thought to myself, if my house sells in 3 days and I pay somebody $15,000 of my hard-earned equity, I'm going to be very unhappy with myself.
Thankfully, it worked for her. With her first offer within a few days, a second offer which she accepted came later. But experts say if you aren't aware of the process and don't do your research, there are many opportunities for you to misstep.
We've got inspections, repairs, insurance, and something that, that's come up in our area is, properties in a federally declared disaster area. What does that mean? What kind of inspections do we need to do to get that across the finish line? And I just think that the buyer and the seller aren't going to be prepared to answer those questions.
Scott Jackson is a Dallas realtor who warns Texas real estate documents change all the time.
These for sale by owners, these buyers that are unrepresented, don't know the features and why these changes have been made in the contracts. And so it'd be like, going to represent yourself in court and you don't want to have an attorney, you want to represent yourself.
So if you still want to go at this by yourself, there are a couple of tips you can take according to experts. Number one, consult with an attorney in case you need some help with the paperwork. Secondly, vet your buyer and make sure that they can perform on their end. And if you have any questions about their finances, you can simply pick up the phone and speak to their lender directly. The blunders of a novice are something title companies say can ruin a deal or, even worse, get you sued.
Not filling out the contract correctly. They don't know how to do the earnest money and what amount should be in the earnest money, or if there should be option money, what amount that should be. And then it comes up later down the road and something's not filled out correctly in the contract. Surveys are a huge issue. People don't know how to fill out the contract correctly to say who pays for the survey.
And those are just some examples. Redmond says she did some research, did her own marketing, and she did pay an attorney to go over the paperwork.
It just gave me a sense of comfort, and it only cost about $300, so it was well worth that investment.
Meanwhile, Jackson reminds sellers,
one of the most expensive investments that someone's going to handle, and do they really want to go it alone in this kind of competitive market?
So there you have it, a couple of things for you to think about while you make that decision. Folks, if you have a story idea, we want to hear it. Send me an email at onesforrealestate@cbs.com. Just go ahead and shoot that over.